Hello everyone, and welcome to the Newton Prize 2020. This is our fourth year of prizes and our most international event so far. We are joined by friends and guests from all over the world. Firstly, a special welcome to Her Royal Highness, Princess Sumaya bint El Hassan of Jordan. Her Majesty's ambassadors, welcome your excellencies. Welcome to the ministers. Also a big welcome to the somewhat relieved judging committee and the reviewers. Welcome to and congratulations to our shortlisted researchers from the UK, Egypt, Jordan, Kenya, South Africa and Turkey. But lastly, and very importantly, welcome to you all, wherever you are in the world. My name is Dr Maggie Aderin-Pocock, and I'm your host for these prestigious awards, totaling £1.5 million. Now, by trade, I'm a space scientist and broadcaster, and a science communicator. And I got the science bug very early on, mainly due to hearing about the moon landings. And a steady diet of Star Trek literally had me reaching for the stars. But as a small child growing up in the UK, doing the things that I do now seemed like a crazy dream. I have a condition called dyslexia, which means that reading and writing are quite hard for me. So I apologize for any mispronouncements or anything else I do. But dyslexia also gives me lots of creativity and imagination. But I was very lucky because with support from my family and teachers, I've been able to fulfill some of my crazy dreams, although I still want to get out there into space. So now I spend much of my time going out and speaking to school children across the world, encouraging them to aim high and think big, and consider careers in science, technology, engineering, and maths. To date, I've seen around 350,000 people here in the UK and across the globe. Now, science changes lives and it has an impact on us all. And in these challenging times, we need buy-in from the next generation of science practitioners. But also for these challenging times and these world problems, we need collaboration to get global solutions. And I think that highlights the importance of the Newton Prize, bringing people together from different countries and different disciplines to solve these global world problems. Together, united, we can tackle the biggest problems. When reaching out to kids, I like to tell them a story about a small Black dyslexic kid who was reaching for the stars. We as scientists today in the science community need to do the same. We need to think big and work together. That way we'll find global solutions. Thank you. So let's get started with proceedings. The Newton Prize is all about recognizing outstanding international research that is addressing the many challenges we face around the world. All of our shortlisted projects promote economic development and social welfare. They also take on the big issues of our time, such as climate change, clean energy and water, the preservation of the world's historical sites, equality, and human rights. Today, we also celebrate the important collaborations between people that make all this possible. People from different countries, cultures, backgrounds, religions, and politics. And this year is special because it's the first time that our winners don't know in advance that they've won. For past ceremonies, winners were usually invited to London for the prize event, which was probably a bit of a giveaway. I'm delighted that we'll be joined later by the UK's Minister for Science. But to kick things off, I'd like to ask Professor Alice Gast to join me to talk about her role chairing the Deliberation Committee. Hello, Alice, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you so much, Maggie, and thank you for chairing this. It's wonderful. Your story is so inspiring, and so are all of these proposals and all of these prize winners today.
Thank you. So now, Alice, you're one of the foremost chemical engineers and academic leaders. You've been honoured with awards from the National Academy of Science, the American Institute of Chemical Engineers. You've had a Guggenheim Fellowship, and you're a fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering, with many more titles besides. Now, you're also president of Imperial College, which is where I spent 7 happy years doing my degree and PhD. But now you're also sort of the chair of the Newton Prize Committee. So as the sort of chair of the committee, you had the pleasure of reading the shortlisted applications and after they'd been peer reviewed. Now, it's a very diverse list with different themes and different types of project. Is that typical, and does it make judging difficult?
It is typical because the Newton Fund supports these incredible international collaborations that are really, as you say, bringing that creativity and that science together on such a diverse array of challenges that we face. These prize winners and these shortlisted projects really combine that excellence in fundamental science with that applications that will really make a difference to people, make a difference to humanity, make a difference in the world. And I'm also looking for those collaborations that, as you suggested, cross boundaries, bring people from different backgrounds, and support that next generation of scientists who are going to come along, those people like you who will be inspired by what's being done and decide to go into science to make a difference in the future. So it certainly was a very hard challenge because these are wonderful and very exciting shortlist.
Yes, thank you. Now, this is your second year as the chair of the Newton Prize Committee. What excites you about this year's shortlist?
You know, I think it was really, this has been a year of such global challenge. We're all focused on the things we're facing with the pandemic, all the political strife and the social issues in the world. And it was really inspiring to see this year's candidates bringing out the ways that they can make a difference in long-lasting problems, climate change, poverty, children's health. And it really makes a difference to have that long view, even while you're mired in current crises. And so it was very inspiring. And again, it's just wonderful people collaborating across their disciplinary boundaries as well as across countries.
Thank you. And I think that's so true. Together, we're united, we can do it.
Yes, yes.
So thank you, Alice. We'll see you a little later when it comes to presenting the Chair's Prize.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I think it's definitely time to award some prizes. We have 5 country prizes this year. Each project will receive up to £200,000 to take their important work to the next level. So first up is the UK Egypt Prize. Now, we've got a short video from the Egypt ambassador.
Scientific research and innovation are at the heart of the modern relationship between Britain and Egypt. The Newton Fund partnership with Egypt, Newton Musharrafa we call it, is the first bilateral science, research and innovation agreement between our two countries. This programme is building vitally important research and innovation partnerships, over 450 since 2014, while supporting economic development and tackling long-term environmental and technological challenges. Professor Ali Mustafa Musharrafa, the immensely distinguished Egyptian theoretical physicist in whose honour our joint fund is named, studied with distinction in the UK at the University of Nottingham and later at King's College London. Despite all the current challenges, I'm delighted that record numbers of Egyptian students are studying now in the UK. In addition, over 50 UK universities are active here in Egypt, bringing the excellence of British education directly to the next generation of Egyptian students. Now, as you all know, partnership means that the reach and impact of research projects is broader, that knowledge can be shared between teams from different backgrounds, and that we can improve coordination and find better solutions to common problems. This is why the Newton Fund and the Newton Prize are so necessary if we are to tackle global challenges together and achieve the prosperity and improved quality of life for millions of our people. This year's shortlist of UK-Egypt projects reflects the breadth of Newton Musharrafa's priorities here, ranging from healthcare and disease prevention, to water shortage, to cultural heritage, to agriculture and food production. All these are areas where we hope that science can provide imaginative solutions and make a real difference to people's lives. Whichever project wins the £200,000 of prize money, the Newton Prize reaffirms the value that the UK places on its partnership with Egypt and the importance of working together. Congratulations to all the nominees and the very best of luck to them all. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Sir Geoffrey Adams. Now, our shortlist features 5 great projects. They are finding new ways to halt the progression of liver cancer, protecting Egypt's heritage and educating a new generation, creating a system to produce safe drinking water for rural communities, building a sustainable heritage economy in the wake of COVID-19, and saving farmers money by recycling wastewater for irrigation. And the winners are Professors Fiona Oakley and Helen Reeves from Newcastle University and Dr. Marco Zecchi from Mina University for finding new ways to halt the progression of liver cancer. Here's a short video on their work.
Liver cancer is a global health issue and affects people from the developed countries side by side with low and middle income countries.
Counts for nearly 800,000 deaths annually around the world. That is the focus of our global challenge to try and reduce deaths from liver cancer.
Research to develop strategies to prevent this cancer will save life, guarantees return on investment, strengthens the economy, and ensure community well-being. Actually, we used an innovative 3D model for the first time to model the interaction between liver cancer tumor and stromal cells. Our research found a link between presence of SALF2 and severity of the disease, indicating its use as a potential biomarker. Our team has also developed and characterized a new mouse model to understand the biology of liver cancer developed on the background of fatty liver. This model helps to identify novel immune therapeutic targets that can be blocked to stop cancer development. Well, Newton Fund provides the Egyptian scholars with unique opportunities to express themselves and increase their competitiveness for future project funding and postdoctoral opportunities.
The international research partnerships formed through the Newton Fund allow scientists to work in a collegiate and synergistic way, make important discoveries and tackle global challenges.
I believe that we should put more effort to prevent liver cancer, not only about prohibiting disease from occurring. It is also about establishing a stronger research environment that can effectively support our effort to beat the disease.
This will provide esteem, economic impact and international recognition, but importantly, provide opportunities for the next generation of scientists to train and establish their research careers.
One objective of this project is to deliver skilled researchers in Upper Egypt. And due to the social ties put on female scientists, they have limited access to global research centers, often with poor in-house facilities. Providing a state-of-the-art molecular biology laboratory ensures equal opportunities between genders and also raises females' research output.
Perfect, and many congratulations. But I'd like to ask, why is liver cancer such a pressing development challenge?
I think I can answer that question on behalf of all of us. We're delighted to win this prize, so thanks very much. I think liver cancer is one of the most common causes of death globally in Egypt and elsewhere, and we're really trying to work together in different nations to try and tackle this challenge, and to have Marco in Egypt on board with that, working with the teams in the UK and around Europe, is absolutely fantastic to try and help reduce deaths from liver cancer.
And so I suppose, yeah, this is a global problem, but what have you gained by working on this project and collaboration between sort of UK and Egypt?
Marco, do you want to answer that?
Thank you so much for this. I can't believe myself actually, so I want just to thank Helen and Fiona actually, because they are the UK leaders of this project. I think it was amazing to have this experience in the UK. I was working with one of the world-leading research centers in liver cancer and liver fibrosis in the UK. So I think without this opportunity, I wouldn't have done it. We are tackling a major problem in Egypt and also in the UK, although there are different etiologies to liver cancer. So I think it will affect so many people. So I'm very glad. Thank you for this.
Well, congratulations to you all again.
Thank you so much.
Now, this may be a virtual prize ceremony, but it won't be complete without your applause. So for the panelists, if you could please unmute your Zooms so we can hear your applause. And for the attendees, do clap along with us as we applaud the shortlisted projects and our winners. Please go ahead.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Now we come to the UK Jordan Prize. Let's watch a short video from Her Royal Highness Princess Sumaya bint El Hussein of Jordan.
To our friends in the United Kingdom and around the world, we wish you the very best in these challenging times. It is indeed a joy that we have the Newton Prize 2020 to celebrate today. I am delighted to note that Jordan's research relationships with the UK are long-standing, diverse, and immensely productive. We have shared each other's curiosity about each other and about the world around us, and we have nurtured each other's young research talent over many decades. In 2019, over 1,800 Jordanian students were pursuing tertiary education in the UK, while Jordan was the second most popular destination in the region for UK students in 2017-18. Indeed, the UK is our greatest research collaborator after Saudi Arabia and the United States. Our ties are strong and historic. And in a landscape in which so many connections have long existed between our two nations' researchers, the emergence of the Newton Khaldi Fund has provided a solid platform on which to consolidate and reimagine our collective collaboration as the first bilateral science and innovation partnership vehicle. International partnerships are ever more vital at a time when the world can seem fractured and dissonant. The COVID-19 pandemic has reinforced borders in the short term, but it must inevitably be a further signifier of how irrelevant borders are in building a better and more secure future for all. This great global tragedy shows once again that global science must be allowed to work for all. It also re-emphasizes how diversity in science, and particularly in research, is vital in all our interests. I believe that the shortlisted projects from Jordan that we celebrate today emphasize what we have to offer to our region and to our world. Those related to Jordan's prehistory and to the ancient site of Feynan demonstrate how we seek to draw strength from our past in order to create rounded global citizens today with individual identities and a global outlook, and with this sustainability as a core tenet. The project to engage Jordan's youth highlights our desire to take this drive to create engaged citizens who take pride in their heritage while looking outwards and forwards to a new generation. Finally, the project to facilitate remote monitoring for respiratory issues in villages and refugee camps is a recognition of our demographic and healthcare challenges, and an acknowledgement that innovative science and technology may provide answers that we can share with the world. I would like to congratulate all those innovators behind the shortlisted projects and wish them the very best of luck. You are all playing your part in defining and tackling the challenges of our evolving world. You help to reaffirm our faith in humanity's collective intelligence. I thank you all. God bless you all.
So many thanks, Your Majesty. Our shortlisted world-leading projects are developing wearable sensors to monitor heart rates in villages and refugee camps, a national network of professionals dedicated to engaging young people in Jordan's rich history, a collaboration inspiring a new generation of archaeologists in prehistoric history, and supporting sustainable development for local communities in Feynan. And the winners are Professor Steve Mathan from the University of Reading and Dr. Fatima Al-Namari from the University of Petra for their project supporting sustainable development for local communities in Feynan. Let's watch a video about their work.
Our past, our future, all together in Feynan. And the project is about building an involvement of the local community in Feynan. So OPOF project is seeking to use that academic research to benefit the local community, both economically for their own sustainable development, and also to fulfill our responsibilities as archaeologists about telling them about the past that we've discovered in their own landscape. There's a small museum in Feynan, which the Department of Antiquities built. So the OPOF project has been about trying to involve the community in gaining some sense of ownership of the museum, ownership of their own past.
Because the people of Feynan and Gregra have been in need for such opportunities for a very long time. An opportunity that brings them together, empowers them, and address their needs. Focused on Feynan's rich cultural heritage.
Feynan is one of the disadvantaged area in Jordan. So the location is quite unique in its cultural and natural heritage sites, but the community doesn't have much benefit from all these resources. So our project tried to work with the community in a bottom-up approach to mobilize the locals towards identifying how these heritage resources can be a source for their sustainable development, with the museum as the focal point for the activities that relate to heritage.
In every aspect of the project, key community members are being integrated through co-creating and fostering an environment focused on community needs.
The community also started working and identifying local crafts that can be sold in the museum shop. The community is changing from a passive role into more an active role.
It's a really exciting project. It's a really important project, showing how academic research, cultural heritage can contribute to social well-being, to building gender equality, to building sustainable economic development in these rural communities in Jordan.
So congratulations to all of you. But I have a few questions. When it comes to development, people don't necessarily think of cultural heritage. So why do you think this is so important?
Well, thank you. Let me just first of all thank the Newton committee for this great honour, and also thank all the project members in OPOF project in the UK and Jordan. It's a wonderful team to work with. I also want to especially thank the local community in Feynan, who are really special people and working so hard with us in this project. Yes, cultural heritage and development, they don't often go together. And the development of cultural heritage in areas like Jordan has often involved international teams making huge advances in research, where the local community is not really benefiting from that academic endeavour. And what we're trying to do is bring them together to both support the sustainable development in these communities and at the same time protect and promote that cultural heritage. And we think they can go together extremely well. That's the goal of our project.
Fantastic, thank you. And what will the prize money enable you and your team to do next?
Okay, well, maybe I could invite my colleague Fatima to talk on that.
Very much. This is really exciting. The prize money is going to help us build on what we have worked on so far. So we have developed general master plans of what can be done with the community, theoretically speaking about many issues, but also trying to implement some aspects. But we had limited funding to actually do everything needed. So when it comes to upgrading the museum or increasing the exhibit space, when it comes to resolving some of the conflicts that exist within the community, because as you may know, that when you do participatory development, there are different kind of views, and you need to work that out. So actually working with the community has showed us different perspectives that we actually need to work more on finding consensus about how to approach the museum exhibit and improve the interpretation for the site. So we already had different locations for panels. More needs to be done. So basically the money will help us have a better impact for the sustainable development in that region, which is by far really ignored. It's way south, and nothing happens there except for some of the archaeological excavation. So this is really exciting.
If I could just add to that, as Dr. Al-Manari says, we'll do a range of aspects, but one of them will be empowering the women in Fainan to set up their own social enterprise, a women's cooperative that will draw on the cultural heritage to actually manufacture some craft items, to develop a new kitchen, so that they can actually benefit directly themselves from the ecotourism we're trying to encourage through the museum and the walking trails. And this will bring money directly to the women to support their families without any intermediary body behind them. So we're trying to develop a sustainable business community, developing from the cultural heritage in Fainan, linked in with the museum. So it's a very exciting, it's a very ambitious project, and we're hugely grateful for the Newton project supporting us in this way. It's going to benefit a great deal of people in a very wonderful part of the wonderful country of Jordan. Thank you.
So congratulations again. And please do unmute and let's join together and applaud the winners and the runners-up. Congratulations. Now we come to the UK Kenya Prize. We've got a short message from the ambassador, Simon Nebukwasi. We're unable to run the video, so I'll just read it out from the Kenyan Ministry of Education. The UK has a long-standing history with Kenya. It is one of the largest international research funders after the US, making it key to the Kenyan research system. UK funding is closely aligned with Kenya's national research priorities, facilitated by a strong partnership. A flagship of UK-Kenya partnership is the Newton Yatafiti Fund, which has facilitated several research projects, including those shortlisted for the Newton Prize 2020. There is a great value in international partnerships. They expose our researchers to international research standards, infrastructure, and exchange of expertise. Such partnerships can help address global challenges for a common good, and sustainable development goals can be realized through such collaboration. The shortlisted projects resonate well with the Kenyan government Big Four agenda, especially on food security and health matters. It is encouraging to see research come up with real-time solutions for food security, health issues, and environmental protection. We are optimistic that these ideas will progress to the next level to impact the economic and improve livelihoods. I wish to take this opportunity to recognise the 6 Kenyan researchers and innovators for their efforts in inventing brilliant ideas, which have reached this far. I wish them good luck in this final phase and encourage them to invent more. The government is always ready to support such promising inventions. So, our UK Kenyan Prize features 4 outstanding projects. They are carbon negative fertilizer production for rural communities, a device to diagnose maternal infection in 20 minutes, converting waste plastics into cooking fuel, and a new way to convert human waste into fertilizer in the country's first sanitation research centre. And the winners are Professor Nicole Palme from the University of Hull and Dr. Jessie Gittaka from Mount Kenyon University for their device to diagnose maternal infection in 20 minutes. Here's some more information about their work.
Group B streptococcus is a big problem. It leads to bacterial infections in babies. Many babies will die. Approximately 20% of deaths in the neonatal age are caused by sepsis. And this bacteria, GBS, is one of the most important. Combining that with the low resource setting where you don't have specialist labs to do the tests, it leads to a lot of grief on the family side and also frustration on the doctors and the nurses. Why should we lose a baby? This is one of the drives towards working in this space of trying to develop diagnostics.
My research is really all about shrinking down the liquid handling from the big machines we tend to have to some tiny handheld devices. And the reason we are interested in that is because a lot of the analysis methods that we need in order to diagnose a disease, these methods can be done very much more efficiently when we shrink down the fluid handling like this. So we can be faster, we can be more precise, and also something that's actually usable by people in the field, by people in the clinics. And this is really where the sort of collaboration with Jesse comes in, because he has the understanding from the clinician side. So we can come together and have a really good understanding what will work within a remote clinic and what will not be working.
The problems you encounter in the real world are not single discipline. They need multidisciplinary solutions. The doctors may not know the science behind it, the analytical chemistry, the molecular biology behind it. So you need to bring people like Nicole who have this expertise. We mix these disciplines together, and then we can come up with something that is more responsive to the needs of the society. So that the Newton Fund sort of facilitates that interaction is something that is quite attractive to me.
It's the possibility to do research that makes a real impact to a large number of people, and it motivates myself and my research team to be able to work on the Newton Fund projects.
Many congratulations to all of you. Now, your diagnosis can happen in 20 minutes. Why is that critical, that rapid diagnosis?
Thank you very much. We are really excited. I'm so happy, and thank you for this. One of the biggest challenges with diagnosis is that you really want to have a diagnostic that is fast, so that patients or mothers do not have to wait for long to start with, because most of these clinics are already having many clients coming there. So, and also you don't want a test that you give an opportunity. You tell people, let's get the sample and then come to the following day, because most people will not, because of competing other interests, may not come back. So having a rapid diagnostic, something that can give you a result in 20 minutes, really ensures prompt management, prompt intervention. You can be able to start treatment or even other intervention in time. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you. And so for you and the team, what is the sort of next big challenge, and what will the fund enable you to do?
Yeah, so our previous project was about GBS, so a kind of a pathogen that appears in expectant mothers and in the context of stillbirth and sepsis. But of course, our big pathogen challenge we have at the moment is COVID-19. So we are looking to adapt the system that we have developed in our previous Newton Fund project to now work on a workflow for COVID-19 point of care diagnostics. So we are really super excited.
Oh, I think you're breaking up a little there. But yes, it sounds like a very powerful solution if you can sort of diagnose people quickly. So thank you very much. And please, everybody join me in a sort of a round of applause for the winners and the runners-up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
To introduce the UK South African category, we have a short video from Dan de Trois.
Throughout the ages, international cooperation and partnerships have always been crucial for the science enterprise to progress. In science, we need to share experience and expertise, we need to share research infrastructure and data, and perhaps most importantly, we need to join efforts, make co-investments, and we need to use science to bring countries and people closer to each other. And we are very privileged that we enjoy a strategic and an historic partnership with the United Kingdom in international science and innovation partnerships. This is a cooperation which involves long-standing relationships between institutions, between people, with many South African scientists having trained or spent some time in the United Kingdom, and also collaboration within large-scale multilateral partnerships, not least the global effort to build the world's largest radio telescope, the Square Kilometre Array, which will be located in South Africa's Northern Cape province with the headquarters in the United Kingdom. The Newton Fund is really one of the highlights of South Africa's international science and innovation partnerships. It corresponds to key criteria for what for us constitute successful cooperation. It's a relationship which is co-owned. We think these shortlisted projects, which really just gives a snapshot of this very rich and comprehensive portfolio, highlights the impact and the potential of the Newton Fund collaboration to really put science and innovation at the service of society. Standing collaboration of mutual benefit for South Africa and the United Kingdom, but also the type of collaboration which our world needs more and more, as shown in the COVID-19 pandemic, our collective effort to ensure global sustainable economic recovery, and indeed to achieve the vision of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you, Dan. The shortlisted projects for the UK South African Prize are improving children's early cognitive development for a better start in life, unearthing new knowledge about the link between ocean warming and food security, informing public policy to reduce infections of HIV, tackling non-communicable diseases with targeted intervention, and helping policymakers address inequalities in seasonal hunger among farm workers. And the winner is Professor Michael Roberts from the National Oceanographic Centre and the Nelson Mandela University in South Africa for unearthing the new knowledge about the link between ocean warming and food security. Here's a short video summing up his work.
So my chair looks at a huge problem.
Climate is changing and everything is sort of changing rapidly. So we need to understand it now in order for us to mitigate for the future.
So there's a lot of people directly dependent on the ocean. Probably the biggest impact our projects had is making countries aware of the situation. So I think what's really good about the Newton Fund is it's one of the few funds in the world that is dedicated to the SDGs, the UN SDGs. It also develops very strong relationships between the United Kingdom and developing countries, and in this particular case, with 9 countries in the Western Indian Ocean.
And it's still opening doors for other students. That way we can be able to collaborate with other people, learn what they do, and then also share what we have in our country.
So this situation in the Western Indian Ocean is a really serious problem. By providing the governments with information, we are hoping for a seamless movement of people away from dependence on the ocean and trying to diversify their food security systems and their livelihoods.
The prize money would sort of make a difference in some of us because there are still students who would like to study further, pursue their careers.
So we've identified Mozambique as a country that is fast moving towards a crisis. They've got an ocean that's warming up and they've got about 14 million people who are very dependent on the coast for their livelihoods and their food. And so we really need to kickstart this.
Many congratulations. But I have a question. We here on planet Earth depend on our oceans and the life below the water. But what happens when the oceans do get warmer?
Well, thank you very much indeed. I should just say that I'm very surprised that I won this, but I'm very happy. And I do want to just thank the panelists, and also I'd like to, before I answer your question, is just honor the other projects. But I mean, this is a hell of a serious problem. And one of the main situation is a lot of the countries in the Western Indian Ocean do not really understand this humanitarian disaster is actually unfolding. And that's, as the video pointed out, is one of the things we've got to do is to try and make people aware of this impending huge crisis. The ocean's warming, and when it warms, it basically becomes less productive. And so you get less fish out of it, in simple terms.
Lovely. So what sort of advice are you giving governments? You were talking about sort of diversifying sort of food supplies and things like that. Is there anything else that governments can do?
It's a really tricky problem, and there's no silver bullet on this whole thing. The first thing is we need to understand what is going on. And very importantly is to find out what the rate of change is. Once we understand the rate of change, we then can have a horizon to aim for. People often ask me, when is this crisis going to really hit hard? I always sort of say in 10 to 15 years, it should manifest itself quite heavily. So that gives us about 10 or 15 years to start putting some sort of mitigation plan together. And as the video highlighted, Mozambique, we've done Kenya, Tanzania, and we've worked on South Africa, and our next big focus is Mozambique. And so Mozambique, as it said, has got 14 million people who are very dependent on the ocean. And so if you've got 14 years, 15 years to move, we've got to start getting a plan in place quite quickly.
Yes, thank you. And what will the funding enable you to do next?
It's critical. We've finished, as I said, the 3 huge projects, and now we're at this pivotal point of kickstarting Mozambique. And this money is going to literally be able to kickstart. We've got a meeting planned with the Minister of Fisheries in Mozambique on, I think it's the 13th of April, to kickstart a very large program that we've written up. And then, of course, we will use this to find other funding.
Perfect. Well, congratulations again. And let's give our shortlisted projects and the winners a round of applause. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Perfect. Now we come on to our final country prize, and that is a collaboration between UK and Turkey. The UK's ambassador for Turkey, Sir Dominic Chilcott, will introduce us to this partnership.
Hello, I'm Dominic Chilcott, Britain's ambassador to Turkey. Today we're celebrating the excellent research and innovation partnerships built through the Newton Katip Çelebi Fund. The UK and Turkey have a dynamic and growing relationship in science, research and innovation, a relationship epitomised by our Newton cooperation. Since 2014, the Newton Katip Çelebi Fund has provided over £26 million to more than 400 projects. The UK has worked with our local partners, the Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey and the Istanbul Development Agency to reach 109 institutions in 44 cities. The partnerships we have created cover a wide range of topics, including health and life sciences, agriculture and food security, disaster management, energy and climate change. Among the excellent country prize shortlisted projects, one UK-Turkey project seeks to treat at the molecular level rare diseases which affect more than 300 million people globally. Another touches upon perhaps the defining global issue of our time, climate change. Our project aims to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions generated through cement production by recycling byproducts and using them to provide housing for the poor. A third shortlisted project focuses on reducing plastic pollution in the maritime environment through novel scientific methods. And the final country prize candidate project tackles water security issues by separating pharmaceutical pollution from water sources. Finally, our UK-Turkey candidate project for the Newton Chairs Prize aims to provide equal access to surgical training by designing and fabricating synthetic tissue and organ models for surgeons to train on. I sincerely believe that international cooperation through the Newton Fund is enabling us to have a greater impact in tackling the shared global challenges we face, as well as deepening the friendships between our countries. I invite you to take a look at the very impressive shortlisted projects and wish all good luck and success to the candidates in their work. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Thank you, Sir Dominic. So the UK-Turkey life-changing shortlisted projects are creating green concrete from recycled construction waste, shedding light on the true impact of plastic chemicals on animals and humans, developing a portable sensor for monitoring pharmaceutical pollution in water, and revealing how rare diseases work at a molecular level. And the winners are Professor Ashraf Ashon from the University of Bradford and Professor Mustafa Shamaran from Hepajekpa, my apologies, University for creating green concrete made from recycled construction waste. Congratulations. Let's listen to a short video about their work.
Our project tries to solve a global problem of huge amount of carbon dioxide emission generated through the Portland cement production. Another global challenge that is being solved by our project is the accommodation and housing of the poor, slum dwellers and refugees, especially in Turkey, and the burden this causes to economy by proposing Lego-like houses made entirely out of construction and demolition.
So in principle, we're tackling this problem through different innovative ways. The first one recycling of the construction and demolition waste. So by doing this, saving landfill, reducing CO2 emission by reducing the production of cement. On the other hand, producing and researching into a Lego-like structural element which could be reused in future without any energy input or so.
The collaboration formed between Hacettepe and Bradford via Newton-funded project is thought to break common trend in construction industry, strengthening ties among researchers who study construction methods and structural aspects.
Mainly, we're going to focus on reducing the CO2 in the atmosphere by binding and eliminating capability to achieve a better human health, a natural ecosystem, and improve the global economy.
We should win this prize to ensure holistic, closed-loop recycling process in favor of achieving further health, economic, environmental, and social benefits.
Many congratulations again. Now, Turkey has been at the heart of some recent mass migrations. How can your project help with this challenging issue of housing?
Thank you very much, Dr. Maggie. First, I would like to sincere thanks to the prize selection committee. In our projects, we have been working on the solution for several important environmental and societal problems in construction industry. The first one is about the carbon dioxide emission. Our project proposes a novel technique to reduce the carbon dioxide emission produced from construction industry, mainly from the production of cement that is energy intensive, costly, environmental unfriendly, emitting 9% human-driven carbon dioxide of the world. The second issue of our project will tackle is the recycle and reuse of the construction waste, especially developing countries like Turkey expects tremendous amount of the construction and demolition waste, and we don't know how to handle it. Construction demolition waste, by the way, is one of the largest global solid waste products, accounting 30 to 40% of total urban waste. The project will also develop a new generation structure system for future buildings, whereby various structural elements can be dismantled and reused after service, minimizing future demolition waste generated from the construction and demolition of the structures, and potentially achieving more than 50% reduction in embodied energy of structures. And it provides benefits to owners to retain the value of their assets and making house much more affordable, especially for poor, homeless, refugees, as well as those affected by extraordinary disasters such as earthquakes and floods. So in summary, our project will provide a great opportunity for developing holistic circular solutions to tackle the global issue of carbon dioxide emission, construction and demolition waste generation, and ultimately climate change.
Lovely. Now you mentioned that this is a global problem. Do you have plans to sort of spread this research to other countries too?
Okay, thanks very much, Maggie. Let me answer this question, but first let me thank and express my appreciation for this offer. Thank you very much for all Newton committee. Thanks very much to the fantastic colleagues from Turkey working in this project and from UK as well. And the award will take and advance the research project a very significant step forward in terms of the environmental benefit to the global community, not only Turkey or UK, and as well as it will impact the visibility of the research project and research output. So in terms of the construction material development, we're planning to take this a step further and enhance the greenness of the developed construction and demolition waste based geopolymer concrete.
through new generation CO2 capturing and storage technology and the methodologies. The main aim here is to eliminate the high level of CO2 emission from the universe with the main aim to protect human health and natural ecosystems and global economy. Another very important achievement we're planning to do for the future of this project, we're planning to build a large scale building, a full scale building in Hacettepe in Turkey. This is something will take place for the first time in material structure engineering research. This large scale demonstration of the project will show the high technology readiness level of the collaboration and the research project, and will definitely attract further research interest and other stakeholders from across the whole universe to invest on our proposed system. Therefore, overall, the project outreach will be global and related to all countries, achieving significant environmental, societal, health, and economic benefits. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well, many congratulations again. And
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
A round of applause for our winners and our shortlisted projects as well. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
So now I'd like to hand over to Professor Alice Gast to present the Chairs Award.
Well, first of all, Maggie, thank you for being such a marvelous host for us this evening. Your work is so inspiring. Your story is so inspiring. And we owe you a round of applause as well.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like to start by also thanking my fellow committee members for their help with this difficult choice we had to choose this year's winners. As you can see, they're marvelous, marvelous projects, and it was really a very hard effort. The expertise of our committee members, they brought their expertise from their countries, they brought their different disciplinary backgrounds, and all of that was essential in this selection. And our task would have been impossible without the dedication of over 400 external reviewers from around the world who volunteered to review the applications. So we owe a great deal of thanks to all of them as well. So as well as the country prize winners, I'm really delighted that we can award a Chair's Prize, which this year is presented to a project that best demonstrates how their research is addressing one of the following Sustainable Development Goals: good health and well-being, gender equality, and sustainable cities and communities. The winner will receive up to £500,000 to continue their important work. So this year's 5 shortlisted projects are a new mobile app helping people reach reliable and affordable emergency services at the press of a button, boosting productivity and employment in informal settlements with renewable energy, improving outcomes for breast cancer patients by training surgeons, a new business incubator helping micro-enterprises achieve sustainable transport for increased social and economic mobility in South Africa, and affordable WHO-certified medical gels to improve women's sexual, reproductive, and maternal health, particularly for women who've undergone FGM. We were very impressed by the pioneering ideas, the potential impact of the shortlisted applicants, and it really was a tough decision. They were all excellent, but the winning project was so well thought out. In the voice of one of our committee members, it was very clever and engaging, and just great science with strategic importance. So without further ado, I'm pleased to announce the winners of the Newton Prize 2020 Chairs Award are Dr. Federico Caprati from the University of Exeter and Dr. Yiska de Groot from University of Cape Town for their project, Boosting Productivity and Employment in Informal Settings with Renewable Energy. Congratulations to you both, a very well-deserved award, and we would like to hear a bit more about your project. And so we'll play this short video.
So our project is trying to solve the global challenge of access to affordable and clean energy for all. Energy is an enabler of development. The lack of energy doesn't just create health impact, but also huge inequalities and opportunities for people to develop.
What motivates me personally to work on this development issue is actually the opportunity to make a real change and to enact real impact.
So Zonke Energy's contribution to this research will be to install mini-grids to supply families with electricity.
The Newton-funded project that we worked on between the University of Exeter and Cape Town has resulted in co-designing energy services delivery pathways with the municipalities of Johannesburg and Polokwane.
So it is a reality that it is very difficult still in the capital markets to find commercial access to capital to do something that we have planned to do in these informal settlements.
So what I think is very great about international partnerships is it enables us to bring together the best partners and knowledge from different regions in the world, so we can really benefit from the knowledge that sits in different pockets in the world, so we can do research that is meaningful on the ground.
So the whole focus of our partnership is on leveraging innovation to achieve real impact with communities.
We should win because the lack of access to energy is one of the major things that is holding up development worldwide. So my future vision is that we live in a world where everybody has access to appropriate energy for their needs.
That's marvelous and very inspiring. Congratulations to you both. It's really well-deserved. And I'd like to ask a couple of questions just to learn a bit more about your project. You've mentioned how energy poverty is affecting these people. Could you explain in a little more detail what is energy poverty and what is life like before and after you get involved in these communities?
But it means people, in very short, it means that people do not have access to appropriate and affordable energy that they need to fulfill their daily needs. So that can mean that the first week of the month they can afford their energy, and they're moving down different tiers of energy as the months go by. And what we're expecting by focusing on the solar mini grids is that that people's energy services levels will go up, because throughout the month they will be able to access refrigeration.
And you mentioned that these are, you're pulling together resources and support from worldwide ideas and things that have happened elsewhere. Could you talk a little bit about that international element to this work and the collaboration and your vision for it spreading throughout the world?
Maybe I'll take this one. Thank you. Yeah, and before I answer that question, I would like to say thank you for the whole process, because yeah, like you were saying, it seems like it was a very, very well organized process from my point of view, and very streamlined as well, which is great to see. And yeah, in answer to your question, I think the way we're approaching this in terms of international collaborations, but also national collaborations, is that we've gone very much for a partnership and co-production approach to this project. So the project is based on rolling out solar off-grid provision of renewable energy, and building on top of that solar off-grid provision in informal settlements in Cape Town as a pilot, building onto that refrigeration-based businesses powered through solar, which enable female entrepreneurs to be trained and then to take basically refrigeration-based businesses forwards, with the understanding that, you know, it isn't just energy, which is a key need, but also refrigeration. And so we're sort of working all the way across from Exeter, from the UK, across to the University of Cape Town, but also you know, also across to the private sector. So we're working with a really great, innovative, small utility, Zonke Energy, which works exclusively in informal settlements and in the off-grid space. And also we're working with the local community. So we have a lot of local community buy-in in our pilot area. So for me, it's really exciting.
That's very exciting. You're working with government as well. So you have the private sector, you have the university work, the community engagement, and government.
Yes, yeah, indeed. And so there are a range of different, different stakeholders, yeah. So we've worked, at different levels of government, including the city, so municipal authorities. So trying to tackle these challenges using a sort of multi-stakeholder approach.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations again. We wish you all the best for this project, and we look forward to seeing your progress. We have a final short video to play from Nigel Casey, the High Commissioner to South Africa, before we return to Maggie.
One of the great privileges and pleasures of being British High Commissioner in South Africa has been to witness and be part of the phenomenal growth in the UK-South Africa science, innovation and research relationship in recent years. Supported by grants from the UK Newton Fund and match funding from South Africa and the Global Challenges Research Fund, we've seen a phenomenal breadth and depth of collaboration between UK and South African institutions in recent years. Just to give you an example and a sense of the scale of that, that has produced over 10,000 pieces of collaborative research published just in the last 3 years alone from British and South African research partnerships. It's an exciting partnership which ranges from looking at the health and future of our oceans to the skies, where we're collaborating in the phenomenally ambitious Square Kilometre Array programme. Today I'm really excited to be talking about the Newton Prize, which is celebrating the latest achievements of our international research partnerships, which have continued to work together on solutions to some of the world's key challenges: the health and welfare of our communities, our food security, sustainable energy, natural disasters and climate change. Here in South Africa, I'm pleased and excited to support 5 nominees for an in-country award and 2 further nominees for the Chair's Prize, covering those key collaborative areas I just outlined. I wish them and all nominees from partner countries the very best of luck, and I congratulate them for the projects presented here today.
I think, and now we need a round of applause for shortlisted projects and the winners. So another round of applause, please. Don't forget to unmute.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations. It will make a real impact. Now I have a real pleasure in introducing someone who I believe has the best job in the UK government, because she gets to hear about all the amazing science happening every day here. Amanda Soloway is the UK Minister for Science, Research and Innovation for the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Thank you, Amanda.
Well, thank you. And I do have the best job, actually. It's a delight to have it, Maggie. And thank you so much for the kind introduction and doing a wonderful job of overseeing today's event. Good afternoon, Your Royal Highness, Princess Sumaya bint El Hassan of Jordan, assembled ambassadors and honoured guests. I'm delighted to be joining you to offer some reflections on the fantastic research and innovation that's being produced for our international partnerships. And it's such a great privilege to be with you at your first ever virtual Newton Prize International event. Necessity, of course, has required us to run this event virtually, but I think that also has some benefits, actually. Being virtual means that I'm able to speak to attendees not just from the 5 partner countries being celebrated today, but across all of our 17 partner countries, from Mexico, where the sun must be coming up, I guess, to Indonesia and the Philippines, and where it will be evening already. And hosting this virtual event is a reminder of the enormous global reach of our research and innovation partnerships. And I'm so grateful to each of you for taking the time to be with us here today, wherever in the world you're located. I'd like to start with a story. And in late 1664, a bright comet shot through the sky over London, and the people who witnessed it were fearful, wondering what it meant. And it was quickly followed by the worst outbreak of plague in England since the Black Death. And as the outbreak spread, those based in cities retreated in large numbers to the relative safety of the countryside. And among them was a young student called Isaac Newton. Once he'd established himself in his childhood home in Lincolnshire, presumably whatever the 17th century equivalent of setting up his Wi-Fi would have been, Isaac embraced his newfound isolation by embarking on a period of internal solitary study. And he dedicated his time to intense thinking around optics, gravitation, calculus, motion. And over time, the thoughts he devised led to some of the most extraordinary breakthroughs that have shaped our understanding of the world and our universe around us. And years later, Newton would say that this period of isolation was the most intellectually fruitful of his whole life. And he described this annus mirabilis as a year of great wonders. And I think some parallels are to be drawn in this situation that we are going through today. We are adjusting to our own differing degrees of isolation as a response to the unprecedented events taking place around us. And my hope is that Isaac Newton's example can be a reminder of what can be achieved under such situations, that light that can be found even in the darkest of places. And it's a lesson that can be applied to all of us here today, not just researchers. And we must keep asking ourselves, what good can come of this? And I don't want to play down the extraordinary situation that we're going through. The world is facing economic uncertainty. Public dialogue is focused about essentials, and many people are concerned about the future, both short term as we come through the pandemic, and long term as we look to build the global recovery. And there will inevitably be those who will say through this process that we cannot afford to invest in research for global good at a time like this, and that we should look inwards rather than outwards. And I have to say, I fundamentally and wholeheartedly disagree with them. Investing in research and innovation at a time of global adversity is more important than ever. COVID has shown us yet again the vital importance that science plays in responding to the greatest challenges of our time, challenges which do not respect national borders nor affect us all equally. And this is why the UK wants to encourage, support and partner with the very best researchers on the big challenges that we face, wherever they're based. We want to continue working with countries that match the UK's science excellence and to leverage our joint knowledge and innovation to bring positive change to people across the world. The importance of investing in science and maintaining the UK's position as a global science superpower is outlined in our new national R&D roadmap. And this is why the government is committed to increasing investment in research and development to 2.4% of GDP by 2027, and to increase public funding of R&D to £22 billion per year by 2024. And of course, the COVID world is going to be different, including in ways we cannot yet foresee. We're going to be challenged to build back stronger, cleaner and more progressively, which is why we're committed to achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050. And we'll be encouraging others to be similarly ambitious through next year's COP26 conference, which we will be hosting just a year from now here in the UK. And it's why we will continue to meet our international commitment to spend 0.7% of UK gross national income on development support. And as Science Minister, I passionately believe in inspiring and enabling people from all backgrounds and experiences to engage and contribute to research and innovation, to show that science is for everyone. Our prosperity depends on the ideas that scientists and researchers generate and develop, and collaboration is crucial to these endeavours. We know that international collaboration improves the quality of research, and as our R&D roadmap makes clear, we want to bring down barriers and create opportunities to help UK researchers collaborate with the best minds wherever they are based. The projects shortlisted have celebrated the prize here today are testament to that ambition. They show that what can be achieved when we collaborate between us, when collaboration is supported, as well as the real world impacts that partnered research delivers across a wide spectrum of challenges. In health, with shortlisted projects developing devices to quickly diagnose maternal infection, tackle respiratory and non-communicable diseases, and develop more effective methods to diagnose and treat cancer. How amazing is that? In understanding the world around us through mapping the impact of plastic pollution and the rapid warming of our oceans on both humans and animals. In improving the world we're looking to build, developing new green concrete to reduce the environment change of construction, producing new renewable off-grid energy systems, and devising novel systems to produce safe drinking water for rural communities. And something close to my heart as Government Minister in informing and driving policy development with projects aimed at helping policymakers understand and address poverty and food insecurity, and at developing a model for understanding how cultural heritage can be used to support sustainable development. I am proud that the UK is supporting investment in these projects and that we have the opportunity to celebrate them here today. I want to congratulate the winners and everyone who was shortlisted for their work. I want to thank Professor Gass, the committee members and peer reviewers for their time and dedication assessing the bids, and UNESCO for their outstanding work coordinating the prize. I'd like to recognise all our partners around the world who've helped shape and deliver these outstanding projects. And most importantly, I want to thank the incredible researchers across all of our partnership programmes, many of whom are here with us today. Your work shows how powerful research collaboration can be improving the world around us, something that we need now, perhaps more than ever. And I look forward to seeing the fruits of your endeavours for many years to come. Thank you, and back to you, Maggie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Well, everybody, that sadly brings us to the end of our awards today. The trophies are on their way, and I think there's been plenty of avid tweeting too. I do hope that you've enjoyed the ceremony as much as I have, and a final thank you to all our speakers and everyone who contributed to making this event happen, including the Newton Fund community, our in-country teams at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, and of course, our delivery partners, which will be shown on the screen shortly. Very good luck to all the projects and our winners as they embark on the next stages of their research. So to everybody else, enjoy the rest of your day, keep safe, and for us all, keep reaching for the stars, whatever your stars may be.